Celebration. Celebration. Yes, that is the Dexter's Lab theme song. Welcome back to Everest Movie Ever. My name is Jess, and I'm watching Everest Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about The Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is a 2003 theatrical release. It's directed by Rob Minkoff, cinematography by Remi Adefarasin, edited by Priscilla Nedd-Friendly, music by Marc and it's written by David Berenbaum. The film stars Eddie Murphy as Jim, Marsha Thomason as Sarah, Marc Jeffries as Michael, Aree Davis as Megan, Terence Stamp as Ramsley, and Nathaniel Parker as Master Gracie. This was filmed at Sable Ranch in Santa Clarita. It was also filmed in different pieces in New Orleans. Apparently there's quite a few hidden Mickeys. I don't recall any, but not shocking for me to not notice hidden Mickeys on my first watch through. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. The costume and special effects designers wanted the ghost to appear more dead the farther away from the house they got, which was kind of fun. It was the first film to eventually premiere on Disney Channel that said the word ass. It's got a $90 million budget, and it made $182.3 million in the box office, which is not great. It has a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying neither scary or funny, lifeless as the ghosts. There was a reboot announced in 2010, but it lost its legs, but apparently now it's coming back and it's going to happen in 2023. I don't know if I already said it. I feel like I did, but maybe I didn't. This is based off the attraction at the theme parks, the Haunted Mansion. The cinematography in this is awesome, genuinely, especially with how it worked with the edit. But this is visually really beautiful, especially the effects and the people to look dead and all that kind of stuff. But the house is stunning, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But just every shot they used, it has so much life. So much life, lol. Just the texture of the shots and the composition of the shots were all so good, and they had so much fun stuff to work with in that. Breathtaking, so pretty. The transitions and match edits in this are untouchable. There were so many different moments of this that I was genuinely like, oh, dang, okay, I get it, like, dang. The one that's coming to my brain right away is, Jim holds up something to end one scene, and the camera, like, starts to move with his hand, and all of a sudden it pans out, and, like, it's a completely different scene, but it kept on his hand, so they hid the transition in that movement, and it just, so good. So great when they can do stuff like that. Starting the film with that famous that's in the ride. Oh, that was good. And then Marc like truly kind of went off for this. The music was so fun. It had a really great vibe, and it just was in all the right places. I genuinely really liked the music. I never was really scared except for when the skeleton sat up out of the tomb. That I was like, ooh, I would like that. But not like actually scared, but like, ooh, that if that were real life, I would be horrified. The butler did it? You gotta be kidding me. He took me out. That was really funny. But otherwise, I see where the problems are in this movie. Sarah's not very active. She's kind of just talking to the master of the house the majority of the movie, and then all of a sudden, she's being like roped into marrying him and blackmailed. Which is like really unfortunate, and I felt bad for Sarah for that. That was kind of garbage. And then, like, the movie is fast-paced, and it's, like, a fun little, like, treasure hunt, discover the truth mystery to save his wife, but, like, a lot of the emotional weight isn't there. Like, they really, really spend a lot of time setting up that Jim is a workaholic, and he doesn't pay attention to his children or his wife that much. So I wish they had leaned into teaching him that lesson that he needed to learn when they didn't really. And then also, I feel like the kids are kind of just along for the ride. Like, they do their own thing for a minute, but then they're just kind of along for the ride when, like, they could have had their own little mission they had to do. I don't know. It was kind of sloppily put together. Like, there's no, like, super depth to the characters and the story. Like, it is a very, this is what's gonna happen, this is the story, and then we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. And it was fun. I was entertained from beginning to end. I had a fun time, but I see where it's lacking in the story that people would be wanting more, including myself. I did want more. I wanted more heart, as I always call it, to the story. I wanted more in-depth characters. Like, we barely get to see Master Gracie, and, like, you can kind of tell, like, he doesn't want to rope Sarah into doing it. He's, like, he genuinely is wanting to figure out if it's his love, Elizabeth, I think was her name. And he, like, if it's not Elizabeth, he doesn't, like, want to force her to marry him. He's like, well, I want Elizabeth and not Sarah. So, like, he seemed very sweet, and it would have been cool to dive into his character. It would have been cool to have the kids, like, learn something and do something too. Would have been great if we focused more on Jim learning the lesson that, like, he needs to be with his family more, but, like, we kind of touched on that. And then Sarah was super inactive, so, like, there wasn't a lot going on there. The revival moment at the end, where, like, she does die from the... I thought she hadn't drank the poison or even let it touch her lips. So when she started to pass out, I was like, what's happening? And they're like, oh, it's the poison. I'm like, she drank it? Like, I thought she didn't drink it, so they didn't make that very obvious. And then she gets, like, overtaken by Elizabeth for a minute and kisses Master Gracie, which was very strange. I saw they were going for, like, a comedy moment or whatever, but it just, like, was kind of anticlimactic in a way, even though it seems very climactic. It's good. It's entertaining. You definitely, like, won't be bored, but it could have been so much more. I think everyone can agree that the effects for this were actually spectacular. They were really well done. All the dead people looking mad ghosty and dead, and the little singing heads were great, and just all of that was really great. The other thing that, like, just totally shined for me, which the second I say it, I feel like all of you are gonna be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, was the production design. The production design was so good. Just everything was decorated. Everything had such character. The tomb felt true. The, like, magicalness of the house and mansion felt so authentic and real, and the production design just so good. And that really assisted in the visuals of the cinematography. Like, yes, the cinematography had good movement and they had the great match edits and all that kind of stuff, but with such awesome backgrounds to work off of too. Yes. So I had never seen this movie, actually. I've only ever ridden the ride, and I've ridden the ride plenty of times. So it was fun to watch this and kind of get, like, to explore the mansion, you could say. I had heard, like, that this was all right. Like, it wasn't bad. A 14% on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't think it deserves a 14%. Like, it's not the best, but it's not, like... Both this and Brother Bear, like, kind of got the bad end of a stick on the Rotten Tomato. Like, I don't know what the critics were on when these movies were coming out. Maybe because Finding Nemo came out, like, so people, and, you know, like, Monsters, Inc. came out, so they're like, what are we doing? Like, we have Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., and then you're giving us Brother Bear and Haunted Mansion? But this was fun. Like, I don't think it's bad enough to get a 14%. Like, it's not bad. Like... Should it be certified fresh? I'm not so sure, but, like, I think you could have a 50% in there somewhere. Like, it's not that bad. I didn't write that many notes down because I was just, like, entertained watching it. So I guess that's good. But again, I said most of what I feel during the writing section because it was a writing problem. But there is, at the end of the credits, Madame Leota is, hurry back. So that's kind of fun. Otherwise, that's everything I have. My final rating is 7... I want to say mansions, but let's do 7 singing heads out of 10. Our total movie count is... Parent Death Toll and Cry Count are still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. This month, because it's celebration month, Patreon. Every tier is getting a benefit from the tier above it. So for just $1 this month, you could go and participate in daily trivia. Literally, not like $1 weekly, not like $1 for the month. You could participate in daily trivia. Just go do it. The trivia is so fun. That's all I care about. Like, I just want not all I care about. I just want everyone to participate. It's so fun. Buy merch. Merch this month is 25% off with code PET600. Do not forget it. Go get 25% off merch. Buy all the merch. It's fun, comfy, great, hilarious, beautiful, all the good things. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you do, and don't be Ramsley about it. Eloise at Christmas time.